Hi everyone, it's Rachel from the blogs healinghome.co and healinghomerecipes.co, and today I'm going to be sharing 5 spring recipes to hopefully inspire you in your kitchen. It's been a very rainy week, so I've been tempted to go back to making some warmer soup recipes instead of these more light and springy recipes, but we've made it through the cold snap and the spring weather is peeking through again. I love the transition from winter to spring, as it always makes me think about new life and the spiritual transformation that comes with trusting in Jesus. These spring recipes are not necessarily a full meal. You'll have to take your own liberties to make them into a meal if you so desire, but I will give tips for that as the video progresses. Make sure to pop over to healinghomerecipes.co to find the recipe for the calzone, blackberry salad, and avocado salad. The 2 other recipes I'll explain throughout the video. Today's video is brought to you by the Healing Home Harvest Cookbooks. If you follow the Trim Healthy Mama lifestyle, less sugar lifestyle, keto lifestyle, or just want to eat in a more sustainable way, then these cookbooks are for you. In my Skillet and Casserole cookbook, you will find 25 recipes that focus on harvest fresh ingredients and are high in protein. In the sugar-free Sweet Stuff cookbook, you will find 39 recipes that use natural sweeteners like stevia, which I grow in my garden each year, and monk fruit. Check them out on my website or on Amazon. Our first recipe is my calzone, and I love making this on weekends when pizza just seems too repetitive, or to be honest, when my husband Danny requests it. On this particular day, he was outside planting 100 varieties of pine trees, along with 4 apple trees, and this was his requested meal. So of course, I was going to do anything to make it happen. This recipe uses my einkorn pizza dough, which is on the Healing Homes recipes site. You'll need to plan ahead so the dough can fully ferment. If you follow the Trim Healthy Mama lifestyle, you'll want to make sure to let the dough fully ferment for at least 7 hours so it meets the requirements to be on plan. The dough takes 3 1/4 cups of all-purpose einkorn flour, a cup of fed sourdough starter, 3/4 cups of water, 2 teaspoons of salt, we love the REDMOND real salt, 1 teaspoon of dill weed, which I forgot while filming this, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Once the dough is fermented properly, you will cut it into 2 pieces and then roll each piece into a rectangular shape. It does not need to be perfect. Then you can layer your desired ingredients. Earlier this summer, I purchased this super inexpensive rolling raised garden bed and planted arugula in it. So I decided to cut back some of the arugula and lettuce sections and layer arugula in it as well, and it tasted very good. Once you have layered your ingredients, roll it up by pulling each side into the middle. I sort of squeeze it all together at this point. You can also do an egg wash on the sides to keep the insides from spilling out while cooking. Bake it at 350 degrees and enjoy. This one for sure is a family favorite, and it's not necessarily a spring recipe, but I definitely do cook it and bake it during the spring, but we enjoy it all year round as well. Our next recipe is an oatmeal bake. This oatmeal bake is something that I've been seeing sprinkled on the internet lately. There was an Instagram account that shared the idea. I believe you pronounce her name Katie Calabrese, and the recipe looked amazing. Plus, I loved the idea of it being an overnight oatmeal bake. Then I saw on Our Oily House on YouTube share a similar recipe. Inspired by their renditions, I have came up with my own little recipe, which has been begged, borrowed, and tweaked from the original too. It's been a really easy way to feed my family in the mornings, especially on the days that I have to go to work, and it's also something that they have been gobbling up. You'll need 3 cups of oats, a 1/4 cup of gentle sweet, a teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, 1 1/4 cups of unsweetened almond milk, a 1/4 cup of honey, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 6 tablespoons of melted butter, 2 eggs, and 2 to 3 cut up apples and a banana. Then it's just a matter of mixing it all together and baking it at 350 for about 30 minutes. It's such an easy way to make a breakfast for your family that also tastes quite amazing.
Got her. Yum yums. Yum yums.
I'm gonna try.
Oh, yum yums.
I got two. There's still one.
Okay.
I'm still one. Why? Still one. Dad. Still one.
This isn't necessarily a meal idea, but I'm including it in this recipe lineup because I love it so much during the summer and spring months. There's something refreshing about a gelatin treat during the summer. It just makes me think about a church potluck. Our church has a baptism service on a lake every year, and for whatever reason, I always associate Jell-O with that potluck. However, one of the downsides with these gelatin treats is that they are riddled with toxins and unhealthy sugars. It's actually quite simple to make a gelatin treat that is similar to Jell-O. Really, all you need is a good and sustainably sourced gelatin. The rest of the ingredients are simple and most likely on hand in most modern kitchens. I like to use just gelatin from Trim Healthy. As the name would suggest, it is truly just gelatin, completely organic and 100% beef. Good gelatin will also help to balance amino acid profiles. Because of its hydraulic nature, gelatin attracts water and will form a healing layer in the digestive tract. Gelatin that is responsibly sourced will be a gut healer instead of a gut destroyer. Did you know that gelatin is just a form of collagen? You'll often find gelatin used in dessert recipes and collagen in drink recipes. This is because collagen does not have the ability to gel up like gelatin does. You can replace collagen with gelatin, but you cannot replace gelatin with collagen. Fascinating stuff. Have you ever wondered why there's such a wide range of gelatin price options? It's because not all gelatin is created and made the same. Look for a gelatin that is sustainably sourced and has ultimate purity. Anyways, back to the recipe. You'll need 4 tablespoons of gelatin, 2 cups of cool water divided, a cup of boiling water, 1 to 2 tea bags, hibiscus or another fruity flavor is typically what I go with, a cup of blackberries, frozen or unfrozen. I used blueberries this time, 1 cup of stevia blend. I used a Trevia blend, but gentle sweet is usually what I prefer. Divided into 3/4 cup and 1/4 cup. 1 pint of heavy whipping cream and 1.5 cups of blueberries, frozen or unfrozen, and blackberries for garnish. You'll allow the gelatin to bloom in the cool water and follow the directions according to the recipe. I've recently heard more murmurings about the toxins and bleach that are in tea bags, so I had to giggle when I was filming and used what I'm sure many would consider a toxin. The good news is that you can use whatever kind of tea you wish for this recipe, so if you're concerned about the tea bag toxins, feel free to adjust. Once the gelatin is set, you may have little boys descend to enjoy the tasty treat, or even your husband get in on the blackberry deliciousness. But hopefully you can get the gelatin cut up and placed in a dish and then mix it together with your whipping cream for a tasty side dish or dessert. This actually ended up being a really fun family time in the kitchen as we made this recipe together. This specific recipe is on healinghomesrecipes.co, and you can find all the ingredients and directions there. The Trim Healthy Mama Cookbook is one of my favorite cookbooks, and I've recycled many recipes from its pages. I'll put the link to some of my favorite cookbooks in the description of this video. This orange chicken is one that I used to make on a regular basis, but it was sort of forgotten about over the last year. It seemed like a great time to bring it back and enjoy it again. For copyright reasons, I won't be able to list all the ingredients, but I will say that I never actually follow the recipe perfectly because I never have all the ingredients. I'm more of a beg, borrow, and tweak kind of recipe follower. I didn't have a low-carb baking blend on hand, so my plan was to combine almond flour, flaxseed, and oat fiber. However, when I went to open my flaxseed, I found out that it went completely rancid. I had always wondered if I would be able to tell if flaxseed had went bad, and let me assure you that you can most definitely tell. I ended up just doing a simple combo of almond flour and oat fiber, and it turned out just fine. I cooked the chicken in coconut oil and flipped them over as they seemed to brown. For the sauce, I often make this with orange extract, which keeps the carbs down. But this time, Danny requested that I use real orange juice, so I cut up an orange and squeezed the orange juice into the sauce, which made it very flavorful. I added ginger, soy sauce, some sesame oil, and gluconama for thickening. I love that as a base, this uses cabbage. Cabbage is such a cheap filler, but I really do think that it's a superfood that gets forgotten way too often. Cabbage is filled with tons of important vitamins and minerals, but the part that I love is that it's also known to reduce inflammation and improve digestion. In the end, the whole thing turned out just lovely, as I always remember it used to, and it was a great meal. This avocado cucumber salad is a summer favorite that will have your taste buds zinging with the delightful taste of cucumber, avocado, dill, and creamy feta. It's an easy recipe, equally easy to memorize, and almost always gone way too fast. The full recipe is at healinghomerecipes.co. You will want your avocados quite soft, but not so soft that they become smushy when you chop them up. It's a hard balance to find. If you have avocados that are too hard, you can simply ripen them over about a day in a dark area like inside a brown paper bag. This usually does the trick for me. All you will need for this refreshing salad is English cucumbers, avocados, feta cheese. I've also used goat cheese, and that is a special kind of treat. Lemon, olive oil, dill weed, and salt. This was a family favorite during the summer of 2022. I was pregnant with our third son, Wildler, and was constantly wanting cooling and easy recipes to whip up with little effort. Between this avocado salad and my easy peasy pea salad, we were pretty much eating these weekly. It's a perfect spring or summer salad. The only downside that I find with it is that it doesn't keep in the refrigerator very well. It liquefies within a day or two, so it's certainly something that you will want to try to eat up within a meal or two. Honestly, we don't find it very hard to do. This salad was the perfect way to bring a tiny bit of spring and summer into our kitchen. Thank you so much for watching, friends. If you have not done so already, make sure you go check out the Healing Harvest cookbooks and let me know if you try one of the recipes in this video. I'd love to know what recipes you'd like to make during the transition from winter to spring to summer. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I make a new video every week on homemaking, motherhood, and just a sprinkle of our homesteading life. We'll see you next week, friends.